Hey y'all, welcome to Finish It February. This is part of the How Do You Do Art that is hosted by Cheryl over at the Whole Bucket. So, as you know, I've been trying to clean up my space and I have a whole bunch of acrylic bins that are just on the floor full of stuff. And so I just take a bin and I dump it out and then I just craft my way to the bottom of the desk. So this is what I've been able to make out of all of that stuff. And I do apologize if you hear footsteps in the background. I do have two lovely puppies and a kitty cat. These are all cut-offs from the edges of journal pages. And I do have some journals right there that you're going to see also. So not only paper ruffles, but paper tabs as well. And then we have, these can be either journaling spots or pockets. This is definitely a journaling spot. And this was catching on stuff, so I went ahead and put some medical tape on that so it stops moving. And it looks like you could probably write on that too. I might put something up there to hide that tape. I'm not really sure yet. But then we have a journal topper. And this is all just stuff that was thrown in a bin. And this is a separate bin, but I saw it sitting on top and I couldn't help myself. Some slow stitching. I was not enjoying the movie that my husband picked out that night. So I decided to do that while I was watching. Some magazine pages that have been put onto cardstock for journaling cards. I guess this section next. So these are all pockets, and they're all different. So this is cardstock, and then this plastic piece right here is one of those things that you put your name in. Like if you, I used to do some taxes and bookkeeping and stuff, and I would have to go on business trips, and we would put our name in there, lanyard, I guess it's called. So I still have them all, and I made that into a double pocket. And I have, how many more? This is another one of those. This is also a double pocket. So we have one right there, and then that one right there. And I was messing around with some modeling paste, and that's what that was from. It just ended up in one of those bins, and then I bought something. And this here, these are packaging. And I know that these are not the only ones that I have, and I didn't think about it. Like this one here is actually a double pocket. But this one is not, because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. I got distracted, and so I actually sewed it down so you can't put anything back there. And I don't want to pick the stitches out. And I did the same thing with this one. Yeah. I don't want to pick the stitches out because then you'll see all the holes in the side, because you know you're not going to be able to get those stitches back in the same holes. So there's that. And then these are just scraps of paper that I have. This actually came out of a planner that I found while I was cleaning. It belonged to my mom. She's been gone for quite some time. But this here is, oh, y'all have to gonna stay tuned for next month, because Hazel Annika, I'm gonna have to ask her to phonetically pronounce her name in an email so I can get it correct, because I don't think I'm saying it correctly. But I was asked to join a collaboration for March Masterboard Madness, and this was already put together, but that's just an example of stuff that we will be doing. So my husband bought me a laminator for Christmas last year, and I forgot that I had it. So there's that. And then I was messing around with some coffee filters. So this can actually be a floating pocket, or you can glue it down so you have a third pocket at the top or a side pocket on either side here, or you can just glue it down so there's only 2 pockets. Then we have a little notebook from leftover pages. And I don't know why this was in there. I was following something that I was watching somebody else do, and it was probably Camilla Craft Designs, Julie over there. I love watching her because her accent, but she also cracks me up with her waffling and faffing about. So that's probably from her. And this is just 2 pages I made into a waterfall that I sewed together at the top. And then I'll do that one last, and I'll explain why in a second. So this was a magazine, or not a magazine. This came out of a book, and I must have used the other half of it for something, so I just turned that into a journaling spot. So you can either make this as a page or as a floating journal spot that you can tuck behind. This digital is from Julie over at Dear Julie. That was just in the bucket along with some ribbon. I was cleaning out my ribbon things too, so I have even more stuff to look at to use. So that one, where did it go? This here probably came out of this book, right? It's a page. I have several of these. I got them at the thrift store. But on the other side was just all writing. And so I glued a piece of coffee dyed paper down there and made it into a writing spot. So this one here, if you'll see, those are little pineapples. And no, your eyes are not deceiving you. They are upside down. And I didn't realize that until after I started to put it together. So these are little pockets. And I'm sure if you watch Natasha from Treasure Books, you've seen this before. I was having one of those, I don't know what to do moments. And so when that happens, I just turn on a video, and those are the measurements. And I just follow, whoever pops up first, and this happened to pop up. And so I made one, and I wasn't thinking about directional paper when I put it together. So that's why it's upside down. Pocket, there's pockets everywhere. Another pocket here. And I use this paper in particular, not because it was already cut off, but because this is paper that I don't really personally care for, and so that's why it was sitting around. So I'm just going to keep this for reference use for later. And also this is from Natasha too, so I thought I had seen absolutely every video that she's done. I thought I stalked her right and proper, but apparently I didn't, because I came across her paper flower videos and I just made a whole bunch of them. So I don't know how many is in here, but these are all cut-offs from paper edges from journals that I've made. And here are these journals that all those paper cut-offs are from. And I know I just did a video on a 5 journal set. That one was actually sold, and these are not. So let's just go one at a time. And I'm only going to flip through one of them because they're essentially the same thing. So this is decoupage napkin. And the reason why I made these is because I had decoupaged a napkin and then I had set it aside to dry. And then I completely forgot about it. And it happened to be sitting on top of one of the bins. And so I was like, oh man, you know, so I forgot what I had in store for that, or maybe I was just messing around because I'm terrible at decoupage, so practicing perhaps. And it was on a piece of cardstock that was, I want to say like 11 by 14. I'm not really sure because I don't even know where that paper came from because my friends just give me stuff a lot of times. And then that's an envelope, and the closure is magnet. And that actually looks like it's in there crooked, but it's not. So I got some jelly plate prints in here, and this is cabbage dyed, RIT dyed, coffee and or tea, gel plate, coffee or tea, more cabbage, but the crinkled, I do have videos on all of that. And this is actually, let's see what we got here. This is actually a pocket, but they're not decorated yet. So I just finished making them the other day. So these all came out a little bit different. But the reason why I picked the ones that I did is because of the design on the inside of the envelope. So that's the other side of all that. So that's that. And here's the other one, and the next one rather, and the inside covers are all RIT dyed paper that I have done. They are not copies, they are the original ones. And I put that one there because I'm sure y'all can see that looks like a smiley face, and then to me that looks like a ghost head. So I was showing these papers to my husband, and I told him I could just totally sit here for hours and pick out the designs on the papers and say what I think they are. And he shook his head at me, and I said, didn't you ever as a kid just lay in the grass and look up at the clouds and say, oh, that looks like a horse, that looks like a face, that looks like a bicycle, or, you know, whatever. And he said, yeah, I did. I said, well, you know, that is what these papers make me think of, right? Not all of them, of course, but ones like that. Right, and this one here actually looked like a face, but you can't see that because this side here was cut off. So this would have been the mouth, and then this is the eye, and then right over here was another piece that came out like that, and so it looked like two eyes and a mouth, and it was a happy face. So yeah. Yeah, and I actually have something that I bought that I thought was funny because that totally coincides with that, with all that kind of thinking. So these need to be decorated, and then once they're decorated, they're going to go up in my shop. But I was on Amazon, and I had to get this. It's a little tape dispenser. And I didn't necessarily need a tape dispenser, but I squirrel a lot. And so how perfect to buy a tape dispenser that is a squirrel. So that was my thought behind that. I thought it was funny. So those are all the things that I've made this past week. And the other 5 journals that I just finished will be put in the mail tomorrow. So there's that. And I still have several bins to go through, but I can see a lot more of my floor today than I have been able to see in months. So I hope everyone is having a crafty day, and I'll see you soon. Happy crafting.